Here's a deeper dive into the new sequencing software coming for the Solaris. Each of the 4 parts can have a sequence going, and the sequence can be up to 32 steps. So what I'm going to do first is record a sequence for part 1, and we do that by turning on record and then just playing on the keyboard. And you can see the length increase as I play notes. And what I'll do is load all of the 32 steps with something. Because what happens when you want to do a random modulation of the sequence length, you can have all these other parts, all these other notes show up. Oops. So now I flubbed it a little bit there. So let's go turn record off. And let's go edit. I think it was almost the last step. F. No, well, that's okay. G2. Maybe that one I didn't want as a B flat, or it's okay. Let's say we wanted to change that note to another note. I can hold down the shift button and play it like that. Now if we go back and play the sequence, we could see that the length is 32. But let's reduce that length to just 8 steps. Now run mode is, as soon as I press sequencer on, it starts the sequence. If I select key mode and turn sequence on, nothing will happen until I press the key. And also in this mode, changing the key I press will transpose it. Okay. Key step mode. One shot. And mod only, which has to do with the 4 modulation lanes now. So let's go back to run mode. Now if I want to modulate something randomly, let's pick the note value. And let's put 100% random amount. Now when I play the sequence, it'll play those 8 notes within the 8 steps, but the random values will reach out beyond those 8 steps and pick one of the other notes in that pool of 32 notes. So this way you have control of all the notes in the note pool that the random modulation will pick from. So you don't have it just random stuff that's not going to fit in the piece of music you're doing. You can actually decide which notes are going to be included when it does a random variation. I've loaded another sequence in part 1, and now I'm going to show you how all 4 parts can work together. First things, I have an 8-note, and I can still play along providing there's more voices there. In addition now, on part 2 I have an arpeggiation going. Part 3, I have this sequence, and part 4, I have that. So if we play all 3 sequences. Remember, number 2 is arpeggiation. And as I play the keyboard, the arpeggiation will be the only one that changes. Let's say you want to turn everything off. Holding Shift and Arp on or Sequence on will shut all of the sequencers and arpeggiations off. Also, you could transpose pieces. So let's turn off, let's go back to our part 1. Play the sequence. Let's reach the length of 8, or we can move it up. If I hold Shift down and press a key, that'll transpose. Let's talk about ratcheting. Here I have the ratcheting range, currently 1 through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a random percentage overall. This will give us there's no ratcheting because it's on 1. So that'll pick a random step to do ratcheting. However, if you want to assign ratcheting to a specific step, you can go into this page and look for the type. And the following types are available. There's note for just a regular note value. There's a ratchet value. You can see a little X in the box. The note can be a tie or it can be a rest. So if we say, let's go to the 4th step and make that a ratcheting. And now if we play, and I have 0% on the random ratch assignment, but that 4th step will always do the currently assigned ratchet. Now let's go over some of the modulation possibilities. There are 2 modulation paths, source 1, source 2. You can select from a variety of controllers and destinations. So let's listen to that. First thing I'm going to do is use a mod wheel to select through things. Now the pattern length, as I change the pattern length, it'll pick from the minimum, which is set for 16 right now. And then it can be changed. You always get a report in the display what you're modulating. The division changes the clock division. The direction, you have several directions. Again, I'm just moving the wheel. I could use the XY controllers or assign switches or foot switch. Now for global gate and velocity, we need a negative value. And as I move the wheel forward, it reduces the velocity of each step. For the gate times, overall, global gate. Let's go back to positive. Note will transpose the notes with the wheel. Step type can be ratcheting, ties, or nothing. A rest. Random amount 1. In addition to the 2 modulation paths, there's 2 random sources. Right now, random amount 1 is going to the note value. And this is going to be the note pool that we played into earlier. So even though it's 0 there, I'm going to increase it with a wheel. Okay. Random amount 2 would be the same for whatever I have in the bottom. Ratchet number. Well, it's set for 3, so it's only going from 3 to 4. And the ratchet random amount. So those are some of the modulation things you can do. And you can do this independently for each of the 4 sequences. Now with the arpeggiator, we have the same type of functions added. So let's turn it on, and let's hold down some notes. And let's press hold. And the velocity is being set by how hard I play the keyboard. If I want to use latch, that'll just stack notes on. And with latch on, the hold button becomes something else. Let's listen to the arp. If I turn on hold, I can now store a new set of notes for the arpeggiator. And then when I hit hold, it'll go off the current set of notes and play the new set. And I can add to that now with latch on and hold off. Again, hold, load the buffer, hold off. You'll see that the other pages are very similar. Here you can affect the note type in the pattern, the velocity per step. And now we can show you that the modulation is the same idea as we had with the sequencer. So here I've got the wheel controlling a random amount of how many notes in the order in which they're played. Let's add a few. Or let's have the wheel go to a direction. Or the length. So that's some of the new features for the sequencer and arpeggiator. So looking forward to getting this released, and thanks for watching.